Lesson 3.3, Day 2, Rate of Change in Slope. The essential question is, how do you find the slope of a line? Well, in our Day 1 lesson, we kind of already did that. Because, to be honest with you, the rate of change and the slope are really the same thing. So we are going to work on finding the rate of change again today, only we are going to refer to it as the slope instead, the slope of the line. And we are going to use a slope formula to help us find the change in y and the change in x. So our slope formula looks like this. The change in y is going to be found by subtracting the y coordinates, like we did yesterday, but yesterday we were looking at a graph, and subtracting the x coordinates tells us the change in x. Now the letter that you will see used to represent the slope is the letter M. I really don't remember why it's the letter M. For some reason I think it has something to do with maybe the word slope in French, or maybe the last name of the person who invented the idea of slope. I'm not really sure. So if you're interested, Google it and find out why slope is not an S for slope, but rather an M. Okay, now we've got 4 super important kinds of slope that we're going to be working with. Positive slope. Positive slope is when your line is slanting up from left to right. So up, when you read it from left to right, the line is going up. The next kind of a slope says negative slope, so you can probably guess negative is going down. So negative slope is down from left to right. And then the last 2 are a little bit trickier, and we tend to have some students get them mixed up. The zero slope and the undefined slope. A zero slope is like there is no slope. So that's a horizontal line. That's a zero slope. There's no steepness. There's no steepness. The slope of a line is like the steepness of a line. So if there is no steepness, there is no slope. Okay? So horizontal lines have 0 slope. The exact opposite of that is an undefined slope. That is when it is so steep. It is so steep. It is straight up and down, like those horrible black diamond ski slopes or snowboarding slopes that you can go down. Those undefined slopes that are a straight down vertical drop. They are too steep to even define. So those slopes are called undefined. Vertical lines have undefined slopes. Okay, now it's time for that formula that we were talking about. To use the slope formula, you should first label your coordinates. Our coordinates in an ordered pair are always represented by x and y. When you're working with more than one ordered pair, it's important for you to give them a little number like this, x1, y1, and then x2, y2, just to represent that the 1s are in the first ordered pair together, and then the 2s are in the second ordered pair together. So the slope formula, you may recall, had little y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. So now we're just going to plug them in and simplify the fraction. So y2, if I look at my ordered pairs, y2, in that spot I've got a number 8, and then I've got minus, because in our formula we're subtracting, just like we did when we were looking at our graphs. We subtracted to find their difference. And then y1 is 6, x2 in this problem is 4, and x1 is 3. Make sure you simplify your numerator. 8 minus 6 is 2. Then your denominator, 4 minus 3 is 1. And then if your fraction can be reduced or simplified, do that as well. 2 divided by 1 is 2. So my slope of the line that would go through these 2 points is 2, positive 2. You could always graph these points, and you could count the slope, but I think you're better off if you get used to using the formula when you're given the ordered pairs. It's less work. One more with the formula. And again, I'm going to label my ordered pairs. XY, first ordered pair. XY, second ordered pair. Y2 in this problem is 4 minus Y1 is negative 2. Notice I put the negative number in parentheses. X2 is negative 6 minus X1 is negative 4. Parentheses again. Now be careful when you simplify this. We've got a couple chunky pluses here. So 4 plus 2 is 6. Negative 6 plus 4 is negative 2. If I divide those, I get negative 3 for my slope. Another one. Slope formula again. And label my ordered pairs. XY, first ordered pair. XY, second ordered pair. Okay, when I plug them in this time, something different is going to happen. Y2 is 3, minus Y1 is also 3. X2 is 7, minus 1. 3 minus 3 is 0. 0 divided by 6. If you're a little shaky about dividing with zeros, I suggest you plug this in a calculator. So you're going to put in 0, then the division key, and then 6 equals, and it is going to tell you that this equals 0. This equals 0. So this slope is 0. Now, if you graph this one, because we already talked about what these should look like, if you graph this one, it will be proof. The first order pair is 1, 3. Second one is 7, 3. So this would be a horizontal line. Horizontal lines have slopes of 0. They have no slope. The next one, I'm pretty sure you can anticipate what's going to happen on this one when we plug it in. XY, first order pair. XY, second order pair. Okay, when we plug them in this time, what's going to happen? 2 minus negative 1, and then 7 minus 7, up on the top, turns into a good old chunky plus for us. So 3 divided by 0. If you put this in your calculator, 3 divided by 0 equals, it is going to give you an error message. The reason that it gives you an error message is you cannot divide by 0. So this is undefined. There is no slope to be found. It is undefined. It's a vertical line. So the difference is that the zero's in the denominator of the fraction, which is not allowed. You cannot divide something by nothing. It's time to write your summary. So go back to your essential question and answer it, please, with complete sentences. And here's your homework for using the slope formula.